And you can stop me at any time or say, hey, let me say that again. If you mess up, just stop and then repeat it. I'll edit it out. Cool. Okay. Hello, you guys. This is Andrea, your host with From Mrs. to Ms. I have such a special guest for y'all today. Her name is Tamika Carlton. I am so excited to have her here. I'm going to do a little intro of Tamika so you guys can get the what's up on her. She is a relationship and communications expert. She's on a mission to shatter the statistic that only 14% are truly happy. I am so interested to hear about that. So Tamika knows firsthand that quality relationships, both romantic and platonic, are the key to unlocking happiness, increasing your income, and improving overall health. She is the CEO and founder of Couples Experience, and Tamika is changing lives through inclusive and luxurious retreats. Love that. Curated subscription gift boxes and a community of individuals dedicated to strengthening their connections. She's had features, you guys, on the Oprah Winfrey Show, the Hello 7 podcast, Authority Magazine, and so much more. She is the thought leader on the rise. Her work has helped countless entrepreneurs, parents, coaches, investors, individuals, and couples create lasting connections. Welcome,
Yay.
Tamika. Yay.
Thank you so much. That was fantastic. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. I'm so excited to have you. We have so much to dive into today. I was reading through your website. It's such a great website and very informational. So awesome. I'm excited about that. And then, yeah, let's just dive right in.
Let's do it.
All right, girl, let's start at the beginning. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Well, I told everybody about you, but you're personal, a little bit more personal. And how you fell into this career path. Is this like something you were always interested in? Did you just kind of fall into it out of your own life experiences?
Yeah, great question. Well, I always like to tell people that I'm originally from Seattle.
Okay.
I am based out of Georgia now. We moved here about 3 years ago during the pandemic, and we moved here from Chicago. So I feel like I've kind of been all over the place a little bit, like Midwest, East Coast, all of the things. But ultimately, I honestly never would have thought that I would be doing what I'm doing. It's one of those things I like to tell people that I'm a strong believer of when your passion and purpose aligns, like you really are unstoppable to a certain degree. And I think that's what happened with me. Like, my background is in marketing, but I think my relationship-based expertise and just connection and passion for it started very early on when I was 13 years old. And my father passed away unexpectedly from a brain aneurysm. And I think, as you can imagine, that kind of triggered this reality check, right? That like life is short, your connections are valuable.
And how old were you when that happened?
I was 13.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think one of the main things that resonated with me, even at an early age, was that there were so many things that were unspoken, right? That I wanted to share with him, so many experiences that I wanted to share.
Of course.
And I told myself at that time, even, that I promised myself really that I never wanted to feel that way again, where it would be like unspoken things. So I always share whatever, whether it's the truth, the bad, the good, all of it, right? With people. And I've learned that over time, that's kind of transcended into me recognizing that doing so really does create solid connections, right?
Yeah.
And you build these relationships that are more quality, right? So I think, it's very interesting that life just creates this path for you. The things that happen to you lead you to random things. And most importantly, obviously, I got married to my husband we've been together about 8 years. And that was when I really recognized, okay, this couple situation, we need some help. Everyone needs some help in this world, in this realm. And I really just merged my expertise and my understanding of valuable relationships and just wanting people to share their truth and recognizing that couples are not always doing that. And now that is where I am. And that is where Couples Experience was created.
Oh, I love it. Now, how did you and your husband meet?
We met at a day party in Chicago. It was just one of those random things that it was like the old school way of dating, right? Or meeting people.
Can't we have that
he came up to me and we talked and I was like, I don't really care about you. We exchanged numbers, all of the things, took me out on a date. Our first date lasted for like 8 hours, literally. We went to 3 different locations and it was just one of those things that it was like, okay, this connection is real, but we'll see how it goes. And it's
Yeah.
just gone well ever since. Yeah.
Wow, I love it. He's a cutie. I saw him
He
online.
is
Yeah,
pretty cute,
he
right?
is. You talk good, good.
I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
it. Thank you.
Absolutely. So on your website, okay, so I'm super interested about this part because it
Yeah.
boldly states that
Yeah.
14% of the US population reports being truly happy. That's such a
Yeah.
low number.
Yeah, when I found that data point, I was surprised, right? But I
Mm-hmm.
was also a little saddened, and I also thought to myself, why is that, right? And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of it is even in my work with couples, I see that people dim their light, right?
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
also are not able or not as transparent, and they don't necessarily want to share their wants and their needs and their
Yep.
desires and everything. And
Yep.
honestly, that's how we are across the board a lot of times. It's hard to
Mm-hmm.
be authentic. It's hard to be vulnerable. It's hard to break down your barriers.
Mm-hmm.
But that really is what quality relationships are about, and that is how you get to your happiness ultimately.
Wow. So most people are just afraid a lot of times, right? They're afraid of the
Absolutely.
rejection, the result. You
Sure.
just don't know what to expect when you
And
do.
I think too, like happiness is a state of being. It's
Mm-hmm.
not, and it's something that's ongoing. And it's also a recognition of what makes you happy. Everyone is different in their
Mm-hmm.
happiness, right?
Right.
But it's really just a feeling within yourself, which is a state of being, right? And I
Yeah.
think a lot of people are not necessarily focused on self all the time. We're focused on, a lot of times women too, we're focused on doing so much for other people, for
Right.
our kids, our family, our partners, our friends, everything, and we forget about ourselves. And
Mm-hmm.
that, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that causes us to be in this stressful mode of like,
Mm-hmm.
do we even have time to be happy?
I
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, do I even have time? And then I always talk to my friends too. It's like you go on vacation and you have this high,
Yeah.
and then you go back to your real life and you're like back into the regular scheduled program of the monotony,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So we're always going up and down versus just recognizing, okay, the simplicity creates
Mm-hmm.
happiness.
I love that.
Yeah.
So do you think there's a way to increase this number? I mean, I know you're saying communication, transparency, all of those things. Do you think that's something that can truly happen to increase that number?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think when you recognize what you need to produce your own happiness,
Mm-hmm.
you then exuberate this energy in which someone else wants to replicate what you have for
Yes.
themselves, right? And then you start reflecting back energy that is pure happiness,
Yeah.
right?
Kind of the
And
law of
then
attraction, right?
yes, exactly.
Yes.
And it grows and it
Yes.
progresses through society. And I'm a really strong believer of when we have that goodness,
Yeah.
we're all just more open, we're all just more happy, we all want to be more connected. So,
Yeah. Good. So talk to me about breaking the QR code. So I kind of saw this on your website and I was like, I want to know about this. What does that mean? I really dove into it. And how does this come about? And how do we translate that into our everyday lives?
yeah, great question. So, breaking the QR code is like my marketing name for
Mm.
breaking the quality relationship code.
Ah, I like it.
And ultimately, it means really creating reciprocal bonds, right? A
Okay.
lot of times we're in relationships where nothing is reciprocated and we're overextending ourselves for nothing.
Yeah.
And lackluster energy, right?
Right.
So I'm all about providing relationship driven methods that help you to create more enhanced connections, more, connections that encourage you, uplift you, and enhance your well being. So
Mm.
that's the
Good.
quality relationship code.
Okay, perfect. And we're going to dive into those driven methods a little bit
Yes,
later.
yes, yes.
Yeah. So self-discovery is also huge, kind of across the board, right? So I've done, many episodes kind of talking about the importance of finding yourself, just what you're
Mm-hmm.
saying, learning how to love yourself and just
Mm-hmm.
going through the journey, doing things on a daily basis, somehow that feeds your
Yes.
need and not
Mm.
everybody else. Yeah. So what kinds of things would you suggest that, the listeners can do for kind of self-discovery?
Absolutely. I think more than anything, you can spend time with yourself.
Yes. And that's okay, right? Like people think,
Right?
"Oh my God, I'm single and I'm alone and it's so
Right.
sad," but sometimes it's
That
good.
is the best way to discover who you really are and
Yeah.
how amazing you are, right?
Yeah.
Because when you're around other people, you start getting the perceptions of them
Yeah.
versus, or the perceptions of you from them versus your own. And I think when you spend a lot of alone time with
Mm-hmm.
self, you are able to really dig deeper, right? And I think I remember when before my husband, I had a tumultuous relationship and
Mm.
we broke up, thankfully,
Yeah.
finally, because I was holding on. I was holding on. And after that, I had this like warped sense of who I was, right?
Yeah.
Like I was struggling to figure out who I was because I felt like I had, as I mentioned earlier, really dimmed my own light to like
Yeah.
allow whatever he wanted and to provide him with all of the things. And
Mm.
the only thing that got me back to self is doing something that I had never done before, right? And
Yeah.
this is so shocking. People are like, "What? How did you do this?"
Yeah.
But like, this was probably 10 years ago, give or take.
Yeah.
I removed cable
Okay.
I disconnected cable and I disconnected internet. Okay. So that
For how
required me,
long?
or it was like you're like, wait.
I'm like, more than a day? What?
I disconnected that surprisingly for a year.
Oh
Okay.
my
And you
gosh.
know what that made me do? Get up and get out the house. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
And I had to do it on my own a lot. Like I either
Yeah.
would go to cafes, I would go to restaurants alone, I would go, sit at the bar alone. And I just became to like love me, right? And then
Yeah.
I would have developed more hobbies because I'm like, if I'm at home, what am I about to do?
Well, yes.
No internet or no TV. Like,
Not
what can I
much.
do?
Nothing.
So I always tell people, pick up a hobby that you
Yeah.
never thought that you would do. Right. Do art, like whatever it is, like
Yeah.
workout, try a different workout. I did kickboxing, all of these
Yeah.
things. And you're like, I'm capable. Like you come up with you recognize that I'm capable of much more than I had ever thought I
Oh my
was. And that
gosh, I
gives you
love
more
it.
confidence, right? That gives you more,
Yeah.
you discover who you really are and how amazing you are.
Yeah, I love that idea because I had a girlfriend that used to tell me all the time, she's like, just go to the bar one night and sit by
Right.
yourself at the bar. And she's like, bring your laptop. You can work, but
Yes.
like, it's a great way to meet people too, that you're not
Yes.
meeting. And I'm
Yes.
like, oh, I don't know. I look
It
like a
feels so
loser at the
uncomfortable the
bar.
first time. You're like,
Yeah,
do people see me here
I
by
know.
myself?
And there again, we're so worried about what everybody else is thinking about
Exactly.
us, right? Which is
Exactly.
another thing to get out
Yep.
of. You're doing it for you. And I
Yep.
also think when you were saying to kind of sit by yourself and find what's amazing
Mhm.
about you, you can also find what's not so amazing about you,
Yes.
which is huge. Cause I would kind of find I was a little negative just sitting, when you're sitting at
Yes.
home and you're doing this negative talk to yourself. And I started to
See?
go, wait a second, what am I
And
doing?
you can hear it. And then now you can start changing it. Like when you acknowledge
Yes.
that, now you can change and act on exactly what you want to change,
Yeah.
which is so beautiful. When you're around too many people, it's just too much distraction.
Mhm, mhm.
So,
Oh, cool. So, okay, I'm excited to hear about your luxury retreats. I love the word luxury. So, you sold me. And also subscription boxes. Can you kind of break those down for us separately and tell us what's up with those?
yeah, for sure. So, Couples Experience offers our luxury couples retreats. They're
Uh-huh.
typically pretty intimate experiences. We go on vacation. We host about 4 a year. They're both international destinations and
Ooh,
in the country or in America destinations.
yeah.
We kind of whisk you away for about 4 to 5 days, give or
Uh-huh.
take. Sometimes the local ones are a little bit shorter, but you have access to chef cooked meals. All of the activities are already included.
Yeah.
You have access to our experts. We typically bring out relationship experts to do workshops. And most
Mm,
importantly, I think the best part is just being able to be in this space, where like you're surrounded by beauty, right? Because I like
mhm.
water. I don't know about
Yeah.
everybody else, but
Yeah.
I need to be around water.
Right.
And that kind of opens your mindset to
Yeah.
a different exploration, right? And you have this opportunity to connect with yourself, connect with your
Mhm.
partner, but also other couples. And you get to
So
see
neat.
because every group is very different. It's very diverse in
Okay.
age, background, everything. And I think I've seen so many people have conversations or we'll have like fireside chats, and so many people are re inspired within their relationship
Oh, yeah.
because they're watching other people or they're listening to other people, and people share like their truth, like what
Right.
all of the things and these types of environments, which is great. So
Yeah. They feel
that
safe
is,
for some reason,
yes,
right?
they feel
Yeah.
safe because it's more intimate and we're all here for the same reason to
Mm-hmm.
enhance our relationship and explore something different, all of the
Mm-hmm.
things. So
Mm-hmm.
that's always nice and it's great because luxury is my favorite. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not going anywhere unless it's amazing.
You're not
um,
rolling up in a Days Inn
no,
somewhere.
I definitely
Come
am
on, guys, gather
not
around.
rolling up in the Days Inn. Not this time. Okay. But have been there though.
Yeah. How did I know
Right.
the name of it? I've been there. Nobody
Definitely
has
been
that on
there.
the tip of their tongue.
I
Um,
love it. But yeah, and then
Oh,
oh,
let me
what are
ask
we
you a
doing?
question real quick
Yeah.
about that. Okay, so do you do internet and stuff while you're there, or is that like put away
No,
or?
you would think that I wouldn't do internet since
Yeah.
I removed
Yeah.
internet
Or-
is available, but we
Okay.
highly recommend you put your devices down.
Okay.
Everyone is grown and can do what they want to do, but we
Yeah.
highly recommend if you are here for
Yeah.
the first
Immerse
day,
yourself.
typically people are like uncomfortable trying to get into the groove. And then
Mm-hmm.
after the first day, everyone's like, okay, I don't even want my device, you know?
Oh, nice. And so what
So
does a typical day look like for something like that?
yeah, we normally have breakfast served. We have a workshop normally, and then
Mm-hmm.
you have the opportunity to do one-on-one or couples relationship coaching. And
Mm-hmm.
then we'll do like an excursion. So
Oh,
in the
nice.
past, we've done like a catamaran, we've done wine tastings,
Yeah.
we've had like a historian come to the location and kind of give you like a quick, which is great. We
Mm-hmm.
always have on the opening day, we have like a welcome party with a local DJ that comes out and we like
Fun.
have like cocktails and hors d'oeuvres, all of the things. So it's
Yeah.
it's like it's planned. A lot of things are planned, but there's also opportunity for you to kind of relax. There's typically
Okay.
a pool. And so you can go to the pool, relax, have your own personal time, or
Mm-hmm.
kind of, surround
Okay.
yourself with the other couples. But
And how do you choose the couples? Is there like a process like they would
yeah.
apply for it and you kind of go
Yeah,
through
it's an
and Mhm.
application. I always have people fill out an application. We have a chat. I just want to know who you are, what you're
Yeah.
looking for. I want to ensure that the process is going to fit your needs and
Yep.
what you want. Like, I want to
Right.
provide value to you and for you to have a good time, and
Yep.
also to pick the appropriate destination and combine the couples accordingly because, we can
Yeah.
learn something from everyone. And that's typically what I
Oh,
do.
love it. So we'll get those at the end of where people can find that. But tell me
Yes.
about your subscription boxes.
Yeah, so we started the subscription gift box last year in, I believe, February.
Mm-hmm.
And, one of the main priorities for the subscription gift box was that some people can't come to the retreats, right? But how do we
Yeah.
provide value in like a date night type of idea through a more affordable option as well? So we curate quarterly subscription gift boxes where we have about 5 to 8 items that are selected, and
Okay.
it's based off of a specific theme. So it could be like intimacy, it could be conversation and communication, it could be our favorite things as a couple, myself and Logan.
Mm-hmm.
And we've heard really great feedback because it's almost like you open this box and you're like, okay, I don't have to plan date night this month.
Yeah. Yeah.
you know and it's nice. There's typically an activity
Okay.
associated with every box in
Okay.
addition to the item. So
And is a box how many date nights do you get like within one box? Is it one date
typically,
night to use within
you
a
can
month?
do, well, it's typically one date night, but
Mm-hmm.
you can use the items as much as you
As
like.
much as you want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And so
yeah.
people are kind of responding to it and like having
Yeah,
something
people love
fun
it. I
total to
think
do.
people, I had my own like kind of database from couples and all of that. So I launched it through them first, kind of to
Okay.
get their initial
Yeah.
feedback. And they were like, Tamika, this is great. Like, you should put this out more into the
Yeah.
public. And we're getting more substantial feedback from everyone. And like, we're constantly improving because I want to see like what other couples need. Like, some
Yeah.
people, like now one of the themed boxes is going to be based off of trust.
Mm.
So we're looking into, and another thing that I love about the boxes too is we work with a variety of different vendors to put
Mm-hmm.
their items in the box. So
Oh,
it's an
neat.
opportunity for us all to like benefit, or more than myself, right? To
Yeah.
benefit. So yeah, it's been really solid. I'm
So there's
excited
like
about it.
items in there. I'm
Yeah,
just trying
it's
to make
5
a
to
picture.
8 I you're like, "What am I
Okay.
trying?"
I'm like, what's all in this
It's like
box?
5 to 8 items, like, there was our first box, excuse me, had I believe the first one was like a Polaroid camera with like an adventure book or like you to have like an adventure picture book and then
Yeah.
conversation cards. And there were some other
Ah,
items in there, but
yeah.
it was like that was an opportunity for you to kind of get an idea of all the things that could be in a
Yes.
box because it,
Yeah.
it wasn't necessarily themed. It was just like our favorite things. Actually,
Yeah.
one of my favorite things that was in that box, it's a book that it has prompts on a daily basis. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like, what do you love about me? Dot, dot, dot.
Yeah.
And you and your partner have the opportunity to fill it out, and there's enough space for 3 years. So you can
Ah.
review it every year. And
Oh,
it's very interesting to
neat.
see how your
Things
bond
change.
changes, or like
Yeah.
that day I wasn't really feeling you.
But today I am.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
that's fun too.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love it. Those are great ideas. Okay, so another platform of yours is to help women and men create a booming business utilizing
Mhm,
tools that you provide, right,
mhm.
during your courses. So tell the listeners how you feel like these two things correlate. How does having a great relationship at home kind of help you
Yes.
to create the business you've always wanted?
Yeah, I mean, I speak for myself and for some of my clients too. I think when you are in a supportive environment and when
Hmm.
you have someone, and there's research that says that it 90% of your success is based off of who you're around, right?
Mm,
So it's like,
90. Wow.
right, when you
Hmm.
think about who you're investing your time and energy in and vice versa, is that offering you exactly what you want in your life?
Hmm.
Is that energy being reflected in what you can produce and your productivity, all of those things? And I've just learned that even with myself, having Logan by my side, he's way more
Hmm.
supportive, and really getting rid of like some crazy friends or friends that are just on a different path than me
Hmm.
has completely caused me or encouraged me to be better, right? So I always
Yeah.
tell people, be around people that you want to be like, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
be challenged. Like, so Logan challenges me, my friends challenge me, my mentors
Hmm.
challenge me, all of these, my team challenges me. It's just your environment dictates your success for
Mm,
sure. So I think
yeah.
that is quality relationships across the board, romantic and platonic, are so, it's the foundation for who you are to a certain degree
Yeah.
outside of yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So now do you and Logan, I know he kind of does the luxury retreats with you, but does
Yeah.
he do your whole business or does he do his own thing?
No,
He
he's in real estate development,
Oh,
and
okay.
yeah, so he does that, and
Mhm.
then he comes along for the ride.
Right. He goes for the trips, the good stuff. I love it. Okay, so we were talking earlier about the 3 driven methods to kind of help you, and you had 3 on your website. They were relationship driven methods. So tell me
Yeah.
like 1 or 2 of those that you want to talk about.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite is, my framework is basically called ICE. So don't ice yourself out of quality relationships
Uh-huh.
or anything that you want, whether
Okay.
that's a good business, anything. So my favorite uh kind of characteristic or option is just leading with intention. And I think
Mhm.
people have to understand that leading with attention is really just like the law of attraction,
Mhm.
and it provides you with an understanding of what you want, but that intention has to be coupled with action. So understanding what you want and how you can act on getting what you want. So with
Mm.
any of my clients, we break down that, like, what is it that you want,
Yeah.
why, and what are the actions that we can take to get you there.
Okay. Wow, I love that. That's great. So, okay. So basically, I've talked about my podcast and how it kind of dives into the lives of mostly women, and some
Yeah.
men kind of after divorce, tragedy, heartbreak, whatever it might be, and kind of figuring out how to rebuild themselves, reinvent themselves, find new things to
Yes.
do. So I know we talked a little bit about hobbies and things. What kinds of activities would you suggest the listeners kind of do to reinvent themselves or discover new things? I know you talked about a few of them, but do you have any
Listen,
specific?
I would like for you to just know that I like to call it comfort zone elimination. Like,
Mm. Mm.
whatever it is that you don't want to do.
Yeah, do it.
Exactly. Pretty much. So it can change for anyone. I think that stepping out of your comfort zone is really key. For me, it was really being honest with the fact that for a long time I was like, I want to be behind the scenes of whatever I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
And people would be like, anyways, yeah, right. And I'm like, no, for real. Like, I don't want nobody to see me. And
Yeah.
that was exactly what I needed to grow, right?
Yeah.
To put myself out there. So I think even like I want to do rock climbing and I'm like, I just need to
Oh,
do
that
it. I
sounds
haven't done it
terrifying.
yet. Right. I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't want to, but I
What
want
I
to.
want to. I know. Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's like whatever it is that you don't want to do. If you want a partner or if you want to, try a different field, like a different industry. I think a lot of people think that it's too late to try something different or to
Yeah.
change the trajectory of your life. And it's
Mhm.
never too late.
Mhm.
So like take the course, read the book, listen to the podcast. I think surrounding yourself with quality people, change one thing that I've learned to change what you're listening to, like
Mm.
whether that's on your social media feed, whether that's the type of podcast that you're listening
Not
to.
this one. Don't go changing
No,
this one, y'all.
this one is the amazing one. Okay.
Stay on from Mrs. to Miss. Okay, go on.
But yes, like just recognize where you want to be and ensure that everything that you're doing
Yeah.
is aligning with that versus just hoping for the best. And that's
Oh,
not
I
going to
think that's
happen.
a great idea. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that is the biggest thing that most people are afraid to put themselves out of their comfort zone and just try
Yes.
something new. And it's amazing when you just do. I remember because I started playing pickleball. This is probably a year ago.
Ooh,
Yeah, and
yeah.
it's fun, but I remember going and showing up at the first day and just like
Like, what am I doing?
yeah, you're sweating and you're like, what if I'm terrible? And what if nobody wants to play with me? And
Right.
so many things are set up for exactly that scenario. They're ready
Mhm.
with looking for
Mhm.
beginners who have never played before and they want to
Yes.
show you how. And so
Yes.
it's
And it's
really
like,
just,
how many people did you meet
oh
because of
yeah, tons,
see?
tons.
It's
It's
like
just getting yourself out there.
you have to be willing to get yourself out there because it's like the world is waiting on you. The next
Yep.
phase of your life is waiting on you to just
Yep.
show up. And once you walk in, it's like, "Ah,
It's
I've been waiting for
there.
you."
I know, and you're not gonna find it sitting looking at your
You're
TV
not.
all
You are
night,
really not.
I know,
Yeah.
so that's really good. Oh, well, this is great. I love everything we just talked about. I think it's such a
Yeah.
great course you're doing and something for people to really dive into and kind of see what they like.
Yeah.
So I wanted to play this little game with you. We always play this
Yes.
little from
I'm
Mrs. to
so
Ms. Fun
excited for this.
fact. Okay, it's just a this or that relationship questions. I just kind of
Yeah.
like to get personal and see
Yeah.
what you like to do. Okay, number one, this or that. Would you rather a romantic dinner at home or an adventurous date night out?
Romantic dinner at
Ah!
home. Right. I kind of want both, but
I
romantic
know,
dinner at home.
with the
Well,
adventure.
yeah.
Yeah.
If
Do
it's
you?
like travel, if we're traveling, I would
Yeah,
prefer the adventure.
I know. Now, do you cook or does Logan cook?
Yeah, we both could.
You both
We
do.
both. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I like this one. A bubble bath for two or shower escapades?
Ooh, that's good. I would do shower escapades.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. You're like, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like to sit in the bathtub. I'm like, it's a little dirty.
I know. I know, agreed. Okay, this is a good one. One night stand with someone you've crushed on
Ooh.
or a relationship with someone you're just feeling okay about.
Oh, one night stand. Are you kidding me? Lo Logan would even be like,
You
yeah,
go do that.
it's so funny too because we'll watch sporting events because he's like a sporting person and he's
Yeah.
like, I'm like, "Ooh, he is cute."
All of them are on there.
Really?
The coaches even. I don't know what's
Yes, the
going on.
coaches. And now it's gotten to the point where he's like, "You'll just leave me for him." I'm like, Just one night."
That's all you need is one night. I know. That's why you're the first one to say with the one night stand. Everybody's like, yeah, I'll go with the okay person.
No.
I'm like, with you, go for it or
Yeah.
go home. Go big or go home, right? Um, hopefully big.
Right, please.
Sorry. Okay. Future plans or present moments?
Oh, present moments.
Present moments. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
important to stay in the
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
An early morning hike or a lazy Sunday morning in bed?
Oh, lazy Sunday morning.
Depends on if it's a one night stand and you want to chew your arm off, but
Right. Right. Please go.
yeah,
I'll get up for a hike then.
I gotta be somewhere.
Don't you have to be somewhere?
Yeah, yeah. Send them out. Send them out. I love that. Like, isn't that something like the guy's laying in the arm and he wakes up and sees like the really ugly girl and he's like, I would rather chew my arm off than wake her up right now.
Women feel the same.
Yes, we do. Men in the morning, not so good. Okay, love notes or surprise gifts?
Ooh, that's a good one. I would say surprise gift.
Yeah, I like that too. I like
Me
love
too.
notes too, though. Like when they leave
Me
little
too.
things on your
Yeah,
bed or something.
that's hard. Well, surprise gift, it depends on what the
What this
Wait
because
a
if
minute.
it's something if it's a vacuum,
Right,
then
like
give me the note.
like if it's a gift that I asked for,
then yes.
I do love notes though. I feel
do
like those kind of things
too.
you should do often.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do too. I think it's sweet. Okay, slow and sensual or fast and fiery?
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about.
slow and
And
sensual.
sensual,
Yeah.
yes.
The one night stand is fast and
Fast and fiery. Yes, there we go. So marriage and like relationship is the slow and sensual, and your one
Yes, it's
nighter
like
is
more
fast and
intimate.
fiery.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, romantic getaway to the beach, or I know your answer because you already said it earlier.
Right.
Romantic getaway to the beach or a cabin in the woods?
Romantic getaway at the beach.
You're a water girl.
Yes.
Slow dancing in the living room or spontaneous dance moves in the kitchen?
Ooh, spontaneous dance moves in the kitchen.
Yeah,
Oh, I love that. These are great questions.
Thanks. Okay, and the last one is whispered sweet nothings or bold declarations of desire.
Ooh, bold declarations.
Yeah, tell it to me,
Like,
right?
tell me, okay? Be confident.
Yeah, don't whisper.
Show me that you got some
you.
self-discovery. Like you've gone through that.
Yes, that is important. And
Yes.
that's, a really important thing you just said, show me the self-discovery. And that
Yes.
just kind of made me think of a quick question, but like, how do you know when somebody really truly has put in the work? Like, because everybody's, I think, kind of on that bandwagon now where they're like, I've worked on myself, I'm doing this, and they're still emotionally unavailable. How do you, right? Like, you're just like, really? I just had this happen. And it's like,
Yes.
yeah. So how do you know?
I think what I've seen is they are more unfazed by emotions.
Oh, so
So
they
it's
can
like,
handle it better.
yes,
Yeah.
because and they're more unfazed by someone expressing what they are not satisfied with. Because a lot of
Oh,
times when you haven't gone through the truth understanding of self,
yeah.
you are more defensive
Yes, you
and you
are.
take things personally.
Mhm.
I've learned too that guys can be very sensitive when they feel like they've done something wrong when they care about you. But
Mhm.
sensitivity and defensive are two different things.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think those are key. It's just there's this, if there's a dissatisfaction or like anyone, both female or males, like if someone is expressing something to you emotionally and it could be their own hurt about their own life, whatever it is, and they're
Mhm.
emotional and the person can receive it
Mhm.
and just listen,
That's growth.
that is key. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Now that I
Yes.
think about it, it's when they
Yes.
get all defensive, it's because they're trying to say they've done the work, but they haven't truly done it. So they're not
No.
able to fully comprehend what you're even
No, they
throwing at
cannot.
them.
And they get freaked out because they're like, you're gonna find out that I have no idea how to deal with this.
Wow.
So they push back, so they resist the
Yep.
depth
Yep.
because the depth is going to get to the truth of who they really are. And listen, real relationships get you to who you really are. No
Yes.
matter if you want to or not.
You're going to get there.
Yes, you are
Yeah.
going to get there and it's uncomfortable, but that is the point of good relationships
Yeah.
to, and then you should be nurtured eventually. It may not be in the initial moment, but
Mhm.
eventually you should be nurtured. Like it should be accepted that you're going through it and you are, sometimes it triggers you when you break barriers, right?
Yeah.
Or like when you're triggered because hold on, I've never told anybody this, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like it gets you to a point where you feel very much like your guard is down and you can't protect that anymore. You can't
Right.
protect yourself anymore. But that is the key point when
Mm.
you realize, oh, all this time I've been trying to protect myself from what?
Yeah. And you just got to
Right?
let it go. Right.
Just
Let
let
down
it
the
go.
wall.
Just let
Yeah.
it go. Just break it down. So yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you
Awesome.
so much for joining me today. Please tell everybody where they can find your luxurious retreats and your
Yes.
subscription boxes and you.
Yes. Thank you for it's been a pleasure for
Thank
sure.
you.
You can find us, our luxurious retreats at couplesexperience.com. And then personally on my Instagram, Tamika_Carlton JBP. And yeah, I would love to get in touch.
Perfect. Awesome. That's so great. Well, thank you so much once again. And thank you everybody for listening today. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at From Mrs. to Ms. And you can email me with any questions at info@FromMrs.to Ms.net. I'm also on YouTube now if you want to check out some videos. So thanks
Nice.
again. And we will talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Yay.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.